All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the B&T Sports Talk Show. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening. I am T, and to my right, left, whichever way, the other person on the screen, that's B. Welcome in, and if it's your first time listening to us, we appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification button. But we are ready to get into the NFL season. Week one, a lot of things going on, and after 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, however many months there are, we are finally back in football, and looking forward to getting into fall as all this others as basketball is right around the corner. So it's an exciting time for us. But of course, we'll start with week one of the NFL. Well, first, B, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good, dude. First day of the NFL season, first full day, as we could say, because we had an upset happen on Thursday. But I'm doing good, man. It's nice to see football and train wrecks happen on the television because we all know guys flying around the field just absolutely annihilating each other is all something we want to see on TV.
Yeah, but before we even get into that, last week we didn't get to have the presence of the great B with us. We had the other B, which is my brother.
The taller
What
the taller
the
version out of this
taller
group.
the taller, more melanated version, and
Yeah.
so I want to check in with you, man. So you were actually out playing some softball.
Yeah,
how'd that
man.
go?
Went out, came out good. Team came out and took a victory and won the championship on Sunday. We were all pretty exhausted after that. It was a very long weekend of softball, but wouldn't have asked for a better group of people to do it with. So, thank you for holding it down while we were out holding it down on the softball field with my team. So, shout out to our team with Cerna Strong who came in and got it done this past week, this previous weekend. So much love to Cerna Strong out there.
All right, all right. So we are the champions, or we are the champions, my friend. Huh? Y'all, that's cool.
Yeah,
Where's the
yeah.
trophy? You ain't got no
You know what's
trophy.
funny?
Where's the trophy at? You ain't got no trophy.
Nah, we're getting sweaters. I don't know when we're
Sweaters.
getting them, but no trophies
All
though.
right, all right, all
No
right.
trophies. But I'll take a sweater. It's winter time's coming up, so I'll take a sweater.
Yeah, no. Early Christmas gift. Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Well, let's jump right into it. We'll go through our teams first, so the teams that we follow closely, and then we'll kind of jump into what's been going on around the NFL as a whole. So I'm going to start with your team, and folks, if you can't tell, B is a Ravens fan, maybe. So we're gonna start with
uh,
let's start with the Ravens.
what gave that
We're
away?
gonna start with the Ravens. I don't know how many folks out there outside of B are following the Ravens, but let's jump into it. I gotta be honest with you, man. I didn't watch a ton of this game. It didn't seem very interesting when I was looking at the score, and you guys were playing the Texans, so it's kind of like, uh, that should be a W. You got the W, but you also lost something along the way. B, what's going on with your team, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was. I think this was the one way to start a season with a lethargic win, to say the least. It is the Texans of all teams, but man, J.K. Dobbins suffers another ending injury with a torn Achilles here. And for those who don't know what a torn Achilles is, it is what attaches the muscle from the foot to the calf,
Yep.
and that thing is no longer. It basically snaps like a rubber band
Yep.
when it happens, and you've seen it happen to the likes of Kobe Bryant. When they showed Kevin Durant snapping his
Yep.
Achilles in slow motion, it just sends a wave of shock into the leg there. Luckily, they're running back heavy here. I like what I saw out of the new kid Flowers, the wide receiver there. I think he is going to turn into something good for Lamar. But dude, the turnovers that the Ravens had today, honestly, was not. I mean, bad turnovers. Lamar just kind of trying to run up the middle and then just letting the ball hang like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not protecting it. He's just one-handed freely going out there, and all that's doing is just causing. That's a free turnover for other teams. Um, he faced the defense. Like I said, it was the Texans. C.J. Stroud really say for on his half, but the Ravens got a win as they should have here. The defense, hopefully, this will carry some weight. All field goals today, so that is a good sign for the defense. But again, they were only playing the Texans, so
Yeah, I guess that's the
I'll take the
problem.
victory.
It's hard to tell, right? I mean, week one, you're playing probably the worst team in the entire NFL. But I guess one thing is you would think after that big giant contract that was just signed not too long ago by Lamar Jackson that we would get a little bit more happening, stat wise, or maybe they just packed it in because they knew that they were playing the Texans and this was just kind of a half-hearted attempt. So we'll see what they look like going into the next games. But after watching that Browns Cincinnati game, you guys better get it together quickly, man. It's starting to look like your division is going to be a lot tougher than anticipated. Yeah. So Lamar was 17.
Well, and then
Go ahead.
and there was no Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews was a late scratch from the lineup today too, so
Yeah.
they didn't even have their number one tight end out there as well. So I can't really base today's game off of really much. Like this felt like a college game where it's like the number one team in the nation plays like a Division III school and pays them $1 million to come out and get their asses kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the feel that this game got here.
Again, not a lot to write home about, but it's still a win. And any team in the NFL, you want to start with the win. So let's move on to the Patriots West, aka the Raiders. And I was pleasantly surprised to see they for sure competed. Jimmy G, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the whole game, but Jimmy G really, he looked like I thought he would. He's the same guy that we saw in San Francisco. He can make the plays in sort of that 5 to 10 yard, range. He's not necessarily a deep thrower, but he managed the game. And I think he did a very good job of that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? We've been talking about that before. And I think for the Raiders, one of the bigger question marks was how would their defense play against the Broncos, who have a brand new coach in Sean Payton, who inexplicably tried to do an onside kick at the very beginning of the game. I don't know I'm not sure what he was thinking. And he just gave the Raiders a short field, which is exactly what you want for your first drive, is to start from the opponent's 40-yard line. Perfect. And they took advantage of that. Jacoby Myers had 2 touchdowns. He caught the only 2 touchdowns from
took a concussion while he was at it as well.
Yeah, he did. There was another game with a really big hit. I'm trying to think of which one it was. Anyway, so we'll get back to So we'll get back into that. But I didn't know what to expect from the Broncos. Didn't know how their offense would look. They don't look that great. I know Jared Jeudy was not available to play today, so one of your better receivers was not on the field. Russell Wilson, Crosby was putting some pressure on him, man. The Raiders did a good job, especially in the first half, of really, really pinning him back there. He didn't have a whole lot of time to throw the ball, and even got sacked. So, it's a good showing for the front line of the D. Wasn't sure about Marcus Peters coming into this, if he would be able to contribute. But all in all, the corners did not give up any real big plays. I think they did a good job of staying in front of guys for the most part. They got called for a couple of silly... I think the only penalty that got on my nerves was the one where we had the fumble, where Russell Wilson fumbled the ball after getting hit. And then we picked it up. I thought we recovered it. We got called for some weird, illegal contact or something on the other side of the field. Anyway. But other than that, good showing, man. Did you have a chance to catch any of the game, B? Did you?
Yeah, I did. Jimmy G looked like Jimmy G and did enough to win a game in a close game too. He ended up sealing the deal on the first down on the scramble.
Yep.
That's what you're asking. That's what you're asking a lot of quarterbacks to do, and he did it. Now there were some Jimmy G like throws that were pretty bad.
Yeah, that one in the end zone was awful. The one that led to the interception. I'm not sure where he was going with that one.
It was you get a tip drill, and generally tip drills end up in the hands of a defender.
The guy wasn't open. There was a few people over there.
No.
Yeah.
I think his first touchdown throw looked pretty good. The back shoulder fade to what's his name again?
Jacoby
Myers.
Yeah.
and then Jacoby Myers proceeds to get a taunting penalty as well, which I didn't think was really warranted. But I mean, I guess you got to throw it when you got to throw it.
He said
I
something.
overall, it's actually decent. Defensively, Max Crosby just owned that entire front line. I think there was a possession where he himself forced a 3-and-out.
Yeah.
On the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Just himself. Two plays where he pressured the quarterback, and then I think on the second down play, he ended up sacking Russell Wilson
and then,
in that same possession.
Now, in the last play, he got enough penetration to force the ball out of Russell's hand pretty quickly. So no, he was a huge impact on the game as the Giants kicker shanks a field goal. What was that? Anyway,
I would say this: the Denver Broncos look like a much more improved team from last year, and I know that's pretty crazy to say, but their offense looked pretty legit. Russell Wilson looked like the old Russell Wilson from Seattle. It's just about these weapons that he's going to have available and how he's going to be able to incorporate it. Like you said, Jerry Jeudy was not there.
Yeah.
Sutton had a pretty decent game as well. That running game wasn't really going to get much going because the Raiders front line really held it down. They didn't allow a lot of big runs there. So I think you're seeing a lot of high hope for Denver. I just don't think this year could possibly be the year. But, man, to start the game with an onside kick, it looked good to me. I didn't think he touched it before the 10 yards. I thought that ball went past 10 yards, and then he recovered it.
I feel like Sean.
Start like that.
I feel like Sean Payton. This is Sean Payton. This is the guy that had an onside kick in the beginning of the Super Bowl. So let's not. That's who this guy is, and I think it's a little gimmicky, and it's him just trying to I guess ramp up the troops and really do something outside the box, but. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the simple things as far as getting wide receivers open, giving Russell Wilson time to throw in the pocket, running plays where he's on the move, because I think that's when he's the most successful, honestly. It's when he had the most impact. And he had a few throws today that make it look like, yeah, that's Russell Wilson right there. He had one to the back of the end zone where he was going right and fired it about 10 to 12 yards directly right to the receiver. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know about the Broncos and how they're going to look. And I got to be honest, after seeing the Chargers play and then seeing the Chiefs play, the Broncos still have a few steps up the ladder to get to being a viable team. But of course, it's only week 1, so we got plenty of time to figure that out.
Yeah, week 1. You're going to see some, some teams being the normal. You're going to see some teams kind of showing a flash in there, but it's hard to really go off of what your team's going to do for the rest of the season when it's only week 1, to say the least. But hey, like we said, week 1 is week 1. When's the last time the Raiders were 1-0 after week 1?
I'll take it all day, every day. And
I'm sure Raider fans are throwing a Super Bowl victory right now in Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, it's always a party in Las Vegas when it loses, I'm pretty sure. Well, let's jump into the chat, and let's go to we got Black Vanguard in the chat with Dobbins already done. Yeah, he's done, and it's week 1 and the Ravens. What isn't a high powered offense? No, and. Coming in, the lack of wide receiver talent was going to kind of pin them down. I don't know if Lamar Jackson was going to be able to overcome that, and he's not going to come in and run for 100 and throw for 300. It's just not happening. They need to get more talent on that squad. And then Black Vanguard again with Jimmy G, no comment. He didn't play that bad, man. It's just the one thing to understand about Jimmy G, I guess, as a Raiders fan, we got to get is if the ball's going further than 15 yards, it might not get there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it might not be a good play. That's just kind of the quarterback he is. He's not a guy that's going to, push the limits. He's going to do what makes the most sense and make the logical throw to the open guy. And, you can't fault him for that. He's just not he's not a risk taker at that position, honestly. And then we got
No, but that's not what you're asking him to do,
right,
though.
right,
You
right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? You're asking him to get the ball into your playmakers' hands here. Now, granted, I mean, I think Josh Jacobs had a really slow, methodical game, but there, he made good throws. You can't take
Yeah,
that away from him. And when the game mattered is when you want your quarterback to win the game. He won the game for them. So you got to take what you're going to get from him, and that's exactly what you're going to see all year long. And if you're going to get victories for that, you got to take them.
right.
It's all about W's, not how you get. It's not how you look getting them. It's about how it's about the end of the game and what that score looks like.
Yeah, and then we've got elevated expediting. Should I trade Christian Kirk for a bag of red mulch? Christian Kirk. Oh, we're talking about Kirk Cousins. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're
No,
talking about?
no, no. Christian
Who
Christian
is
Kirk is
Chris?
a wide receiver for,
Who is
I
Christian
believe
Kirk?
it's the Jags. Yeah, Jaguars.
Oh, okay. Dang man, that's some knowledge right there. Wide receiver for the Jaguar. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see how he played, to be honest with you. The Jags did win though. So they put a W up there.
I wouldn't say, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, even for fantasy football, don't hit the panic button on your team right away after
Week
one
one.
week. Like, I mean, you're fine. I think. I mean, if someone's on the waiver wire that's good enough to pick up after Christian Kirk, but it's, again, week one doesn't spell out anything, but who can walk away with a victory here. Um, and then Black Vanguard, I understand everything about him, but he's not on the Niners for a reason. I just don't think he's the guy. He's not on the Niners for a reason is because there's a guy by the name of Brock Purdy that took over that job there. So had Jimmy G not gotten hurt and see what happened last year, this could be a whole different story here. But he got hurt. Brock Purdy stepped in, went 8-0 prior to his injury. You found yourself a younger and more established quarterback. The Raiders needed a guy like Jimmy G. To be honest with you, it's worked out for one game. So let's take it for what it is.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. And you talked about Christian Kirk. I mean, I was more worried about Jamar Chase, who was my first second pick. I mean, you want to talk about disappointment and ready to be traded. I mean, good grief. But in any case, as you said, B, we got to keep it moving. It's only week one. And we actually started talking about, that's a good segue. We talked about Jimmy G playing with the Niners. Let's segue that into the Niners, who very simply beat down the Pittsburgh
Oh
Steelers.
my
So
God!
the game was 30-7. If you had Ayuk on your team, Brandon Ayuk, congratulations, clap your hands, do a backflip. 8 catches, 129 yards, and 2 TDs for a guy that you probably picked up in the 5th or 6th or 7th round, wherever you got
Right?
him. McCaffrey handling the low with 22 carries, 152, 1 touchdown. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a lot to say. We didn't think the Steelers would be. I don't think anybody thought they would be world beaters. I thought they had some talent, but the Niners defense has shown time and time again that they are better than, well, pretty much the best defense in the league for the past few years.
Yeah.
So I don't know what a brand new quarterback was going to do against the best defense in the league. So all Purdy had to go out there and do is not screw it up, and he did that. So good week one win for the Niners.
Yeah, and that defense at one point I think they only had. I think the Steelers only had like 1 or 2 total yards of offense at one point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Dude, that defense is legit. Dude, they were flying up and down the field, and they were putting some shots on everyone here. So, this is what we expect from the Niners here. As much as I hate to say it, you can't expect anything less than from what you got. They only allow 7 points today on the road.
Yeah.
That's what's going to win a lot of games. And when you're and then look at all the weapons they had. George Kittle and Deebo Samuel had bad games.
They didn't even
today.
play that
you
well.
Really look
yeah,
at it.
Yeah. Thanks, Deebo. Jeez.
Yeah. Deebo didn't have much. George Kittle didn't have much. But then you had guys like Brandon Ayuk, who was wide receiver 1 today, and then Christian McCaffrey doing his thing. Dude, you had to stop 4 players, and you choose to stop 2 of them instead of the other and you have to live with that other two decisions. So overall are just that's a well-rounded team. Like you, good luck to whoever plays them. The Ravens get them on Christmas Day, so who knows what those records are going to be? But
Yeah, man.
um,
Yeah.
that front seven for the Niners is just god awful.
It's
Scary,
filthy, man.
Like,
It's filthy, and then you got to add to that the fact that you're punting all the time or turning the ball over. They turned the ball over a couple of times. I mean, there's really not a whole lot you're going to do. They're one of the few teams left in the NFL that can play 1950s football and just run the ball and dump it off for yards after the catch, and then completely, just slowly, methodically beat you down until you wish you were back home. And I think that's what happened to the Steelers. So
there's something I do want to talk about real quickly, and I know it's only preseason because this was an interesting thing.
Yeah,
there was so much hype behind the Steelers because they went undefeated in preseason, and then absolutely crapped the bed today. Okay,
yeah,
but there was another guy now that really give this guy a lot of slack, but the Niners went with a kicker in the third round. We all remember that in the draft, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up his name right now. Jake Moody. Jake Moody didn't hit one field goal or one PAT in preseason, and then proceeds today to be perfect. Make it make sense.
How was he not
rookie kicker?
I think the only reason he wasn't cut is because he was a draft pick. They had maybe this,
He was the third round draft.
I guess they could have cut him. I mean, and just went and try to see what else they could get. But hey, it goes to show, man. They had faith in their kicker. They knew, they're a team that actually, the Niners need a reliable kicker. I mean, they score touchdowns, but more often than not, they'll find themselves in situations where they're going to need those 3 points like any other football team. So we'll see if it carries on. Maybe it's just he's on a hot streak, and then he's going to miss all of the next few 3-point after touchdowns in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. Oh boy! So
if he goes back to normal here,
yeah.
And then we got Black Vanguard B. I hear you and I respect it, but Jimmy G has been in clutch moments where he hasn't performed. Overall, Raiders didn't need Jimmy G per se. We went after him. Carr was good enough in my books. But here's the thing: Carr spent too much time in the Raiders organization, and one playoff win. You know, as a quarterback, that's not really going to do you too well moving forward. And we all know the Raiders like to try to think they're Super Bowl contenders when they're basically not a rebuilding project, but they're right in that fine line there. So I think you guys will be happy with Jimmy G. There's going to be bright moments here. There's also going to be bad moments, but that is every single quarterback in the National Football League. Yeah. Lamar Jackson had 2 turnovers today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I understand where you're coming from. Is the fact that Derek Carr was definitely a serviceable quarterback and definitely has some highlights that we can all remember as Raider fans. But truth be told, I think once you switched over the head coach, you were changing everything. And the new head coach coming in, I've already said this many times before: expatriate coach, Patriot offense, Patriot players. That's ultimately what this comes down to. He wasn't going to roll Derek Carr out there to run his offense. He wanted to bring in someone he had more familiarity with, and that's what Jimmy G provides. So I think that's what we're looking at. That's why I keep jokingly saying Patriots West, is because that's that's what they're doing. So we'll see how it pans out. If they can win games, it'll be great. If they find themselves a 500 ball club, then Devontae Adams might get traded next year. We'll see how it goes. The only thing you can't do is you can't let Jimmy G get injured, because then if he gets hurt somehow and the next guy comes in, it's going to be another quarterback controversy, because there was a lot of hype around this rookie coming in to the season. So we'll see how that goes.
Can I put it to this? The next person that says Jimmy G is injury prone, every NFL player playing this monstrosity of a sport is injury prone. Look at the amount of hits that were laid out today. Everyone is injury prone, okay? He just plays a position where you're probably going to get hit the most out of a running back. So, no, he's not injury prone. The whole league is injury prone.
Yep.
That's why they have so many goddamn medical tents on the field, to say the least. I mean, everyone's injury prone. So don't say that he's injury prone. Everyone in this league is injury prone, okay?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But he went down with the ankle, got up, did all right, got hit in the head, went to the tent, came back. and was good to go. But hey, man, look, it's just like Anthony Davis, baby. Everybody gets injured, but when the guy's on your team
Well,
and he gets injured more often than not, he's gonna be injury prone. We just gotta call it what it is. So we'll hopefully he makes it through the season. Once guys start making it through seasons, then we can say they're not injury prone. But if they don't make it through seasons, we gotta call it what it is. They if they, because like we said, you want to talk about somebody who's not injury prone. Derek Carr, outside of one season, played most of the games. But that doesn't matter. It's about what can you do when you're on the field. So we'll see if Jimmy G can live up to the hypes. So or hype, the hype. I don't even. What are we calling it? Hype. It's not really hype, is it? I don't know. So let's move on to what's going on around the NFL, because there was some good games going on. I got to start with the first game that both made me happy for watching, but ticked me off because it completely gave B the win in our fantasy matchup today, and that was the Chargers and the Dolphins going back and forth in SoFi, just chucking the ball all over the place, and Tyreek Hill had a monster game, man. So like I said, I wasn't too happy about this, but it's to be expected. And I was glad to see Tua out there getting it done. But man, Tyreek Hill ain't lost a step, man. He's out there destroying cats faster than everybody on the field, making every time to catch, including the one that won the game. 215 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, 11 receptions. I mean, what a game. And then let's Tua 28 for 40. I mean, did they even run the ball? 28 for 45, 466 yards throwing, 3 TDs and 1 pick. The man's arm is about to fall off. They almost threw the ball 50 times. I mean, dang.
To answer your question, did they run the ball?
No.
No one broke 100 yards. In fact, not one running back got to 40 yards. Let's put it like that. So they were out there gunslinging this damn football.
Chucking it.
466 yards. I wonder. We'll see who had him in our fantasy group here. But man, Jesus criminy, man. Just put it like this. You get 10 points for every yard that you get. Or you get a point for every 10 yards that your player gets. So let's just put it like that, okay? 466 yards, people.
Look, man. First off, I want you to calm down for a minute, because this is what makes me mad. Okay, I had Jalen Waddle. I had Waddle on my team. Okay, this man threw for 466 yards. Do you know how many yards Jalen Waddle had? 78 yards. Why? You mean to tell me out of 500 yards passing, he couldn't get 100? He couldn't get 120, $150? I mean, really?
He ain't Tyreek Hill, man. He ain't Tyreek.
Oh my gosh, man. I was just like, forget it. I couldn't even benefit from the fact that this guy was having such a monster of a game. And really picking up for where he left off, I guess we have to talk about the fact that Tua was in a position last year where he look like he may never play another snap. But now he's out there doing his thing. So kudos to him for getting it done.
Absolutely, man. And especially after the season he had to end with the 2 concussions. You're concerned because the next concussion may just end up ruining his career.
Correct.
And he comes out and gives us 466 yard performance. So kudos to Tua, man. That's a big bounce back game for him after the way the season ended for him last year. So big kudos to Tua. But Absolutely. Even bigger kudos to Tyreek Hill, the cheetah. Thank God for that.
Oh, man. Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to another team that had I guess we could call it an upset. The Browns came in, brand new quarterback after being suspended for an entire season, Deshaun Watson. But he wasn't the story of this game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Browns. The story was the Browns' defense against the Cincinnati Bengals offense. They completely shut down that team. And I again am upset with this because I had Jamar Chase on my team, and he did absolutely nothing for me on my fantasy team. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that, the Browns they shut him down. They come. I mean, Joe Burrow was back there looking like he was searching. He was thinking
He
about
was
his
searching
whole
big
life,
time.
his whole career. He was thinking like, what can I do to play football? How do I throw the ball? Like it was a hot mess, man. He was getting tormented in the backfield.
Let me ask anyone this: was anyone expecting the Browns defense to be this good? In 100% honesty, if you answer that question, were you expecting the Browns to hold the Bengals to 3 points? 3 points. And if you want to talk fantasy, whoever had T. Higgins got a whopping donut out of him. 0 points out of T. Higgins. Dude, that's how good the defense was.
Look, check this out. I'm gonna go through the stat line, B, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to you. Joe Burrow, okay, the guy that tried to say that Arrowhead was Burrowhead, the one that played in the playoffs last year, the Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, 14 for 31, 82 yards, 82 yards passing, okay. And then if we keep going, let's look at and then of course the receiving yards here. You had Chase with 39 yards. You had Mixon who had 13 carries for 56 yards. No one 39 yards. After that, the receivers, it goes 17 yards for Mixon, 17 yards for Smith, 10 yards for Boyd, and T. Higgins might as well have stayed at home. He didn't do anything. So, I mean, this is a complete shutdown of their entire offense.
No one. Total offense for the quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs, no one broke 100 yards. No one.
No.
Total.
No.
All the running backs from Joe Burrow to every wide receiver on the Bengals did not go over 100 yards. This is unreal. Could not believe it.
Dude, I mean, yeah.
True. I don't know if it's true. I had the Bengals defense on my fantasy team. So, look, it only got 8 points, which I'm trying to figure out because they only allowed 3 points. Defense was on point, and I only got 8 points out of that.
Jamar,
I don't understand fantasy sometimes.
Well, at least you got points. I had Jamar Chase, so that didn't give me anything. I might as well have just I don't even know what to say about it, man. But anyway, like you said, complete shutdown. Are the Browns legit? We're gonna find out as we go through the rest of the season. But as for today, they got it done.
They're legit.
They got it done. Yeah, they got it done. So moving on to some other stuff. Well, actually, let's jump in the chat here. We got Black Van Dark with Nope, and I'm guessing we're talking. I'm not sure where that relates to. And then we got I have high mins from Rachel.
She meant T. Higgins.
Oh. Okay. That didn't work out. And then Black Vanguard again. It's also week 1, yeah, of course. And then we got Josh. What's up, Josh? Wu-Tang. The University of Michigan would beat the Giants. Yes, the Giants are getting their butts kicked.
Stop.
But I don't think University of Michigan.
There will be no college team in this world that would ever beat an NFL team. Even if an NFL team went over, the size difference between the NFL and college is drastic. So put that to bed. I get it. You're a Michigan fan. You're hooping over nothing. They're not. No college team would ever beat an NFL team. Let's put that to rest.
All right, you just touched a nerve there, Josh.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
We got Black Vanguard in there. Chiefs lost their first game as well, but I mean, regardless, they were probably turning around. Yeah, well, they lost by 1, so they didn't get obliterated like the Bengals.
The Bengals did.
Dallas defense has 32 points right now, says Rachel. Yeah, Dallas's defense is playing well. Their offense with Dak is, it's always kind of up and down with Prescott, man. I never know what to expect from that guy from one game to the next. And then let's talk about that Lions team that played opening night against the Chiefs and got it done. The Lions with the reinvented Jared Goff out there. Who else? Who do I have on my team? Amon-Ra St. Brown came through for me, played very well. And they just, hey man, they made it happen, man. They was out there, moving the ball up the field. On the Chiefs side of things, however, it's starting to become very clear that the Chiefs need to get to the waiver wire or trade machine to come up with some wide receiver talent, because the balls were they were bouncing off people's hands. Specifically Kadarius Toney, who couldn't catch anything and had to play in the open field later in the game and just kind of let the thing just kind of bounce off his hands.
Oh my God.
You don't want to play. It's one thing to drop balls, but playing for one of the better quarterbacks in the league, or best quarterback in the league, really, you don't want to be the guy to drop the ball. You don't want to be staring at Peyton Manning after you drop the ball. Most quarterbacks will yell at you. I know Tom Brady is notorious for pulling guys and chewing them out. I don't know. I don't think Pat Mahomes did that this time, but he might want to consider it to make sure this doesn't happen again. B, what did you think of the opener, man?
Dude, the Lions picked up exactly where they left off here. I bet you no one predicted the Lions to even compete in this game against the defending Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there was no Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's
but there's still a lot of weapons here. Kadarius Toney really cost the Chiefs that game there. He couldn't have put enough stickum on his hands for the ball to stick.
He's what he needed.
That thing was slipping through them gloves. And dude, those wide receiver gloves have a lot of tack on them. So the fact that they were just squirting out the way they were, dude, that was terrible here. But give the Lions credit for picking up exactly where they left off here. They are my dark horse to win the NFC North. So this was a big win. The culture change is for real in Detroit. Again, just like the Raiders, Detroit's probably never seen a season start 1-0 in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So kudos to the Lions for going into Arrowhead, 100,000 people, and silencing them all on opening week.
Yeah, kudos to those guys, and hopefully they continue it. Having Detroit in the playoffs, I think, will be something I think everybody can root for. That way, those Thanksgiving games are a little bit more interesting. You know what I'm saying? For real.
I know nobody likes to watch the Detroit Lions like 1-12.
Yeah, against the Cowboys. It's like, why? I don't want to see this garbage.
So let's get caught up in the chat here. We got a lot going on here.
Go ahead, B.
Dallas defense has 32 points in fantasy football right now. That is, geez Louise. I mean, they're scoring more than T. Higgins did for fantasy football, to say the least. He scored a lot more than other people.
Got more than most teams.
Josh says, B is jealous because Stanford got whooped by SC. Look, I knew that was happening the minute that game turned on, and it was 21-0 by like the first 8 minutes of the game. So I know where my team stands. They suck. Just, yeah, I'll deal with you later after this show here. Drunk with it. Welcome in, Drunk.
What's up, Drunk?
J.K. Dobbins in fantasy. I already texted my manager and said I ain't going to make it.
Oh, man.
Trust me, man, as a Ravens fan, we have not gotten a full J.K. Dobbins, and there's so much potential for that man, and we can't get it. And the Chiefs drafting 32nd every year is catching up with them.
Yeah, it is.
A wide receiver.
Well, they should have just paid Tyreek Hill, but it's okay. Sometimes you want to pull the purse strings, and I guess they had to hold out some money to pay Patrick Mahomes his $250 million, whatever it was, contract.
Yeah.
What else we got? So we got all the starting rookies. So what were we talking about? The starter for the Texans, who played against the Ravens today. What's this kid's name?
Look bad. C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud. Okay. Well, I mean, let's not crap on him yet. Let me at least pull up the stats.
I just doo-dooed all over him just now as he played against the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, okay, he was 28 for 44, 242 yards. I mean, okay, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So, I mean, that's not great, but I wouldn't say that's terrible. Then we got the kid with the Colts, Richardson, who...
He actually had a pretty good game.
He went for... Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, well, 24-37, 223, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So not terrible. I mean, both these kids played better than Joe Burrow today, so I can't kill them too bad.
But they had the Jags scared though, because the Jags are favored to win this division easily,
Yeah.
and Anthony Richardson actually put some fear into them. So the only thing to Anthony Richardson though is he ran the ball too many times up the middle. There was a play down on the goal line where he took a shot pretty healthy,
Yeah.
and it almost reminded me of Trey Lance. So what you're doing in college will not transition to the NFL. You have to adapt to how more physical the NFL is.
Yeah, otherwise you'll wind up with your helmet and your head still rolling in it. So you got to be careful. Um, and we'll talk and we were talking about Derek Carr earlier. So Derek Carr got his first start and got a win with the Saints. So good for him against Tennessee, who is kind of a meddling team. They're not bad. They're not good. Ryan Tannehill, why is he still? Yeah, whatever. So kudos to Derek Carr, man. I'm happy for him. I liked him when he was with the Raiders. I think he's a class act as far as just an individual. So it's good to see him have some success. And I think, given how crappy their division is, well, I guess the Bucs did win today. But given how crappy their division may be, I think he's got a chance to really get something going there.
He's got the best team in the NFC South there. So
yeah,
I mean, look, 305 yards, one touchdown, one interception. You can't. That's a pretty good stat line right there.
Yeah.
He was sacked 4 times though. Jeez Louise. But that seems to be the norm for a Carr quarterback.
He likes to make plays. That's what it is. He wants to make the play.
He does.
And so sometimes that'll put him in the pocket a little longer than he needs to be.
I think this was a pretty good showing. I mean, look, I'm gonna jump on the Saints here momentarily here, but a 16-15 win at home with the new offense, you gotta be appreciative of it there. So kudos to them. Not their greatest showing here stat wise, I'm looking at here, but again, week 1 really doesn't say a whole lot.
Yeah, get the job done. I mean, you could be Tannehill with 3 interceptions today. I mean, so
and 3 sacks as well. Jeez.
I think. Can we say that experiment is getting a little long in the tooth? I mean, I know the Mariota thing didn't work out, and so they wanted to go in a different direction. But I don't know if Ryan Tannehill is going to be the answer, man. I think they got to start thinking about going back to the well and maybe drafted a rookie quarterback or something.
They have Malik Willis.
Okay. Well, there you go. My bad.
They don't want to start him.
Well, give that young man a chance. It only takes about 3 or 4 losses. Give him about halfway through the season, and then we'll probably see a change in quarterback.
Yeah, and then Drunk jumping in with us. Anthony Richardson already better than Justin Fields, and it's sad, dude. Justin Fields looked like crap today. Another guy on my fantasy team who could not get it going.
Yeah.
Dude, and Justin Fields has a lot more skill and potential, I would say, out of that rookie class, along with Trevor Lawrence. I think those two are probably the best until Brock Purdy showed up. But Justin Fields, man, that was just a terrible showing, man, to say.
Yeah.
Right? And then if Tannehill finished the season, Vrabel doesn't. Vrabel may not finish the season halfway through if they don't get their act together here. But I think Malik Willis needs to get a shot as starting for that team there. He's got a little bit of an upside. I think I would like to see him start. I mean, Ryan Tannehill hasn't done anything for the last 4 years with that team, yet he's still the quarterback.
So he hasn't done anything ever.
Blows my mind.
Ever, dude. What do you mean last 4 years? He's Ryan Tannehill. He's basically Cade McNown plus. I mean,
wow, you call him Cade McNown
plus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. He's just he's one of those guys that are a journeyman style quarterback. He's gonna wind up. It'll be okay if they cut him. He'll be a backup somewhere tomorrow. He'll be all right.
He should be a backup already.
We're almost there, bro. Give it about 5 more games. We'll get there. All right, and the moment we've all been waiting for is our fantasy teams. I don't know how to say this other than I'm getting washed. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the screen so you guys can see what's going on. Actually, no, hold on. No, you're gonna see us. You don't want to see us. You want to see what's going on. And there it is, folks. Me getting trampled, 143 to 99 here. It's not pretty. I'm getting whooped. And I'll preface this by saying I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time doing this. You know, that's my built-in excuse. But you know, I started off.
That's my built-in.
I'll start off. I'll start off with the fact that I had two quarterbacks that were facing each other on the first night. Probably not the greatest idea. And then you know, I followed it up with, you know, I forgot to take Jared Judy off my roster. You know, and I took the Dolphins defense, it was a complete disaster against Miami. And yeah, and most of my other players here, well, you know, my roster ain't looking too fresh. I gotta be honest with you.
Honestly, it's not. I mean,
you killed me, man.
Look,
Don't try to sugarcoat it, man. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean,
you want me to talk fantasy smart? I smacked the crap.
I mean, Aaron
Jones, and they ain't even over
Aaron
yet.
Jones and Tyreek Hill alone were enough for me to just turn my phone off.
Aaron Jones even went out with a hamstring injury.
He still had 26 points
from him, so I'll take that.
I don't have anybody cracking 20 on my entire roster, man. That guy busted 26. Tyreek Hill goes nuts for 44. Are you kidding me? And then by the time I'm at 3 o'clock, you still got Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, who aren't really doing much right now. But still, they're still playing. So
what? So this is where I'm confused at. It is 33-0, and how the hell does Dak Prescott only have 5 points so far?
Because he's probably not doing anything. I don't know. What's his stat line? We got to look at his stat line. He's... Where is it? Oh, he's got 117 yards. He's 10 for 18, so he's like 50% throwing. Yeah, so he's not doing a lot. He's got 117 yards and no touchdowns, no interceptions. So maybe he'll throw a touchdown. That's all you need.
Oh, actually, I don't need much. I just don't need anyone else getting hurt because Jones got hurt today. Tyler Lockett got hurt today.
Yeah.
So now I'm like. I'm not saying I'm in full panic mode, but I'm like, that's not what I was really expecting, to say the least, to happen in week 1 of my fantasy team. But geez Louise,
yeah,
man.
For me, I think it's just I got to check the injury report for the games. The Jerry Judy thing killed me, man. What am I doing? What am I doing? You know, and then you know, the defense against the Chargers, that was a bad take. I don't think Daniel Jones would have saved me though, because he was pretty tragic. Maybe Derek Carr, but in any case, man, I'll have a better time next week. I hope. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm obviously going to take the L this first week. And
hey, any advice I could give you Wednesday night before you go to bed? Read the reports,
right?
Because everything starts on Thursday,
right? So basically that at the end of the night when I'm sitting on the toilet thinking about life, I will pull out my phone and make sure that I check the injury report. All right.
I bet you that's what half of fantasy people do when they're messing with their lineup or all taking a doo-doo and then adjusting their lineup. So you be all right. I think you be doing what the rest of America does.
Should we go through some of the other folks on our team if they're on the chat? Or
yeah.
So we got some other folks here. We got Chalupa Batman, and Cali Sleepers. And I feel I'm in the same boat as Rachel, getting destroyed, 165 to 103, and then we got Equipo Calaveras against Purdy Young Thing, and it looks like Purdy has a nice sizable lead. Might have some players. Looks like Calaveras still has Josh Allen on Monday.
Yep.
So this might be a little bit closer than we think, and they've got the Bills defense. So this actually might be a little bit closer than what we're looking at here. And let's go over to the last one, which is Pat's Mahomo. Okay. I just want to say first, forgive us of these names. This pairing obviously has no guilt and or shame. I'm just gonna completely overlook the Deshaun's gonna touchdown whatever this Lord. Anyway, so
touchdown there.
So this is yeah, well, I mean, yeah, right. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna stay adults and move forward here. So we got JB's team up, got a nice sizable lead. Obviously, he had Tua on his team. Now, how the heck did Tua have only 27? You had like 44.
Oh, I had Tyreek Hill. That's why.
Oh, Tyreek Hill. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Jeez. Anyway, so who else we got? He's still got some dogs in the fight. We got Pollard. How about we've got Stephon Diggs on Monday? That's a big one. And then I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll see how this all turns out. But yeah, looks like Pat's got an outside chance here to get in. But either way, I'm getting destroyed. So let's just take this off the screen. We don't want to look at this anymore. Um, so for all the folks that are in our fantasy, we're gonna shine the light on you. I'm shining the light on myself. I'm getting destroyed. So we're gonna have a little fun with that every week, every time we
It's
go into
just
this.
it's fantasy football. We're all pretend owners. Everyone, this isn't serious.
Exactly. And then, so we're gonna, I'm gonna give a quick update. Not much of one, but the Dallas Cowboys are up. I believe it's 33-0 right now. Is that what we're looking at? 33-0.
You're looking at
So not
33-0. Jeez
30.
Louise.
Yeah. So not much to report other than the Giants are getting completely destroyed. And as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it before the show. Davy Jones is completely being smashed under the weight of his contract. It's completely destroying his ability to play football today. It's unfortunate.
You know who's that money should have went to?
Who's that?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Is he even playing today? Is anybody on the Giants playing today?
It doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it. No. Yeah, it looks like they all should have stayed home. Well, we'll see if they have anything. Oh, it's already it's like 5 minutes in the third quarter. This game's over.
This game's
over, folks.
Way over.
This is over. Yeah, man. What a waste of a Sunday night football game. Wow, Miss Collinsworth must be struggling to find more words to say.
Welcome to the NFL season. 33-0 on their home opener.
Exactly.
Hey,
did you see that?
Why does the NFC East always get the Sunday night game?
I don't know, man. I think Jerry Jones owns something over there. I don't know what's happening.
Dude, they showed Jerry Jones in the press box, and I literally thought it was the Crip walking from the dead. I was like, oh my god! And I was like, that's the owner of the Cowboys.
I mean, the guy's being held up by popsicle sticks and old glue.
You remember what you spit out this water?
God bless his soul, but the last few years of Al Davis were pretty rough, man. I mean, it's not pretty.
No, it's not.
But you know what? He's still there. He's having a great time with his billions of dollars, so I'm sure he could pay somebody to crop him up and shuffle him in and out of the stadium. We'll see how it goes. Oh, man. Hey, did you see Marshawn Lynch is going to be on Thursday Night Football?
I can't wait. I cannot wait for that, dude. Marshawn Lynch is a godsend for the NFL. And the fact they don't like really essential. Did you see the interview or when Peyton Manning went to go talk to him in Oakland? No,
I didn't see.
So Peyton has his interview with Marshawn, and Marshawn goes, they're talking about pregame rituals. Marshawn goes, maybe I needed like maybe a shot and a half before the game. And Peyton goes, of what? And Marshawn looks dead in the eye and he goes, Hennessy. Marshawn Lynch was drinking Hennessy in the locker room before the game.
Here we go. Maybe better stop it for the NFL pick up the phone and call.
You can't.
Oh man, I can't. Yeah, it's too late now, I guess.
Dude, because this is what attracts people. Dude, if I saw Marshawn Lynch even as a color commentator, dude, we would have the best call. There would be no filter. It'd be
okay. Well, here's what I'm looking forward to the most is the Oakland Bay Area vernacular that's going to find itself on the airwaves during these games.
You know what? There should be a drinking game to how many Bay Area vocabulary words get put out for Marshawn Lynch.
It's gonna be crazy, and whoever's standing next to him is just gonna have to roll with it because none of us may know what he's gonna say. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I can't wait. They should make that a pay-per-view kind of thing, not an Amazon Prime kind of thing. Man.
So we're gonna transition into other stories around the worldwide of sports, and we got to start with my team, folks. Basketball is about a month and a half away. The first week of October is when we'll see the first preseason game. So I don't want to get folks too hyped about this, but While everybody was ready for football, the Lakers were quietly, slowly, and sneakily taking away the last remaining talented free agent off the board, and that is former Mavs center Christian Wood, who also played for the Houston Rockets, who averaged roughly 17 points a game, and was picked up on a
That's that bullshit.
veteran minimum for $2.7 million a year to play for my Lakers. This is an incredible pickup for the Lakers, who needed to fill out their center roster after not having much of a roster to talk about last year. Now we have, along with AD, we have AD Light is what I will be calling him for the remainder of the season. AD Light comes in. Christian Wood is a 6'9" center. He's short for a center, but has a 7'3" wingspan, is more than capable of knocking down three-pointers, shot 38% from three over the course of his career, can catch and shoot off the dribble. Not a huge post player, but mimics a lot of what Anthony Davis already does. So I'm looking forward to having him on the court, man, playing with AD or coming off the bench, man. I think that's a huge pickup for a team that already had. And not only that, but this guy's only like 26 or something. He's young. He's in his 20s. So great pickup for the Los Angeles Lakers. I look forward to the start of the season. Thank you.
You done rubbing that in?
No, I got more. Yeah. So the Warriors, not only did they not pick up anybody, but the rumors is that Chris Paul is likely to start. So we'll see how that starting lineup looks.
I'm gonna lay this out here right now, okay? I swear to God, Warriors needed a backup center. No one outside of Kevon Looney, and they let a 16 point per game center, because he has a bad attitude, let him go to a team in your own division for the league minimum of $2 million.
Yep.
You can't even get JaVale McGee for that price. And this dude's a better player than him.
Oh, man.
Like, dude, the Warriors were indeed of a center. They had their opportunity. They got scared because of all the reports about Christian Wood. But I swear, you could have let that all go when you had yourself a center averaging 16 points a game off the bench.
Hey.
Can you imagine him helping off the bench for the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, it would be like David West all over again, man.
On top of that, now you want to start Chris Paul. Now you just really want to shorten this lineup. For what?
You guys are getting smaller by the second.
Dude, I get it. As you get older as an adult, you tend to lose a few inches off of your height. But that doesn't mean your NBA roster has to start off with a few inches off their height. This is ridiculous, man.
It's dude. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But all I gotta say is I'm so happy to see my Lakers continuing to improve, getting younger and getting bigger. You know, you have to remember we're starting a 6'4" and 6'5" guard in Reeves and Russell, who are both 6'4", 6'5". We picked up Taurean Prince, who might be able to start for us at 6'6". The smallest guy on our team is 6'3", Gabe Vincent. Jared Vanderbilt, 6'8". 6'10", you know, you got 6'10", Anthony Davis. You got Bron at 6'9". We're a big team, man. We're a big, talented team. I'm happy to see it. Christian Wood, welcome to the roster. We look forward to letting you spell Anthony Davis while he sits down and not get injured, hopefully, sitting down in his chair.
I hope you guys fall flat.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Whoa. The hatred. No. I mean, we didn't win last year. That was Jokic.
Doesn't matter.
That was Jokic.
That you're having.
All right, B. I'm hopping to a smaller topic. This one's for me because I don't think anybody but me watches tennis. But kudos to Coco Gauff, who won the U.S. Open. She is a USA-born, United States-born player. So having an American win the U.S. Open is a huge deal. So kudos to Coco Gauff, who is a Serena, one of those folks that came up behind Serena Williams, and hopefully get to see her play a lot more and win more championships.
I think she could also be kind of the next Serena Williams in line. She's fairly young, to say the least here.
Yeah, she is.
She's got a lot of potential here as far as as far as tennis goes, she is ranked as high as number one, or she has been ranked high, and she's 19 years old.
Yeah, she's only 19. Yeah.
A 19-year-old just won the Women's U.S. Open. Like, that is a big stepping stone for her. So kind of like in major sports, you wonder when this baton is going to be passed to the next great one. Michael, from Michael Jordan to Tom Brady, that passing of the torch of who's going to be the next great one. And this may be the steps of Coco being the pass off from Serena Williams to her. So big shoes to fill for her. But obviously, it really helps out when you win the U.S. Open for the first time. So congrats to her.
Yeah, congrats, and like I said, hopefully it's just the beginning of a long and great career.
Dude, you know how much money she won today?
How much?
Or the other day?
How much?
$11 million.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's the thing. So I'm glad you brought that up. So there's been a lot of talk, in the past, and I think we had a show a while back about kind of the equal pay thing, right? And how the what the women make versus what the men make. Tennis is one of the only sports where the women's tennis makes just about as much money, if not more, especially when Serena was playing, more money than the men. Their sport brings more money than the men. And because of that, that's why, there's a big push to making sure that the women that do win in tennis are making on point or on par with what the men are making. So kudos to them for building their sport. It's a worldwide sport, so it's a little bit different than American sports with basketball and what we have. But kudos to tennis for having the players, having the marketing, and having the push, and having Serena Williams and Venus Williams playing at the same time, of course, to help propel that sport and make some money off of it.
Actually, looking at it here, it looks like Djokovic earning for today's win is $3 million. And it says here that the U.S. Open is handing out $3 million to the women's singles winner and $700,000 to the women's doubles winner. But that doesn't make any sense there, because
so they just said that she equal across the board. Yeah. So and
which is good though.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And again, we want to preface that by saying the point of this is, the women's sport in tennis makes just as much, if not more, than what the men's sport, as far as viewership and all of that. So don't yell at us about the WNBA.
I would say
it's not the same. The WNBA doesn't make as much as the NBA.
Yeah,
WNBA doesn't make as much as the NBA, but women's tennis makes more than men's tennis. So that's why that's why they should be getting paid more. So in any case, just thought, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just trying to make sure we understand that's
spitting facts, folks. Spitting facts. There's a difference.
The tennis world didn't just decide, let's just make it even. No, the women they bring in more money than the men do.
It's true.
All right.
You got anything off topic?
Nothing. Man, I don't think so. I don't think anything crazy happened this week. Nothing. No chairs. No, nobody got here with any chairs this week. So nothing to discuss on that front. Thank goodness.
No, boy.
Well, I think that's pretty much all. That's it for us. I want to make sure everybody remembers, though. Go in, like the video, please. Please subscribe. If you're a subscriber, hit that notification button. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys joining us this weekend. We're looking forward to talking about more NFL next weekend, and hopefully in our next fantasy matchups, I'm not getting blown out here and have a dog in the fight. But we'll see how it goes. So thank you everybody for joining us. Drunk, Josh, Rachel, Black Vanguard, who else we had? Yeah, Effects. Thanks for chiming in. Elevated, Expediting. Thanks for joining in, folks.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate this.
Awesome, y'all. Thank you. Well, that's it for us, and we are out. We are out.
There you go.
Until next time.